A girl jumped into the pool to retrieve her phone. The CEO on the shore thought she was suicidal and swam over to rescue her. As she stared at his handsome face in a daze, the CEO said, "I saved you. Marry me as repayment." Before she could react, he said, "Tomorrow at 2 p.m., marriage registration office," and left. The woman received a call. Her father said she needed to marry to inherit, so she decided to marry this stranger who saved her. On their wedding day, the CEO told her not to contact him unless necessary, then disappeared for 2 years. 2 years later, the woman became a law firm partner. During a business meeting, she was shocked to discover the distinguished man across from her was her husband from their flash marriage. She thought, this vanished husband is actually the richest man. That night she stopped his car, got in calling him darling, and gave him a kiss. The CEO, who usually avoided women, felt his heart skip a beat. She invited him home, but he said seriously, "I'm married. Maybe I'll consider you after divorce." The CEO didn't recognize her and thought she was just another woman throwing herself at him. But he found himself smitten with this bold girl after their encounter. He immediately had his assistant prepare divorce papers. His father was angry, but the CEO said he found the woman he wanted to marry. He didn't know his exciting new love was the wife he'd forgotten for 2 years. At this clinic, male doctors secretly boost anesthesia doses whenever female patients come in, seizing the chance to abuse them. They tamper with the surveillance footage, making the victims think they're hallucinating. One day, a husband brings his wife, who suffers from androphobia, for treatment. He chooses this all-female, staffed clinic, believing it to be safe. Just before entering the treatment room, the wife sees her husband hugging the female doctor. Though it seems off, she doesn't dwell on it. The female doctor uses a pocket watch to hypnotize her. As the wife's consciousness fades, 2 men slip into the room, inject anesthesia, and leer at her menacingly. Paralyzed but aware, she's helpless. After waking up, she tells her husband she heard male voices during the treatment. The doctor insists there are no male doctors at the clinic, and her husband swears no one entered. Doubts start to creep in. Nightmares haunt her, with the faces of those 2 men lingering. She pleads with her husband again, saying she might have been assaulted, but he just tries to soothe her, thinking her condition has worsened. The next day, when she goes to pick up her report, she spots a man at the clinic. "That's him," she shouts. The doctor claims he's an outside expert and couldn't have been in the treatment room the day before. She begs her husband to call the police, but he takes her to the expert for more treatment instead. She demands her husband accompany her into the treatment room. Once there, the female assistant sends the husband out, citing privacy. Just before losing consciousness under hypnosis, she sees the expert and another man enter. When she wakes up, she slaps her husband in a rage. "Why did you leave? I was assaulted again." But her husband insists there are no other male doctors in the clinic except for the expert. The husband mingles with different women daily. His wife doesn't care at all. When the husband has secret meetings at hotels and gets surrounded by reporters, the wife smashes their cameras. She even pays huge sums to suppress scandals. She indulges his recklessness. He becomes increasingly arrogant. He brings a scheming woman home and forces his wife to give up the master bedroom. The woman voluntarily moves out. She even gives them a villa in the city center, only because he has a face identical to her deceased fiancé. A year ago, on the woman's wedding day, her fiancé died in a car accident. She developed severe bipolar disorder, until she met this substitute. From then on, she transferred all her longing onto the substitute. Knowing he's a scumbag who covets fame and fortune, she still spends heavily to make him a star. Her father advises her to let go of her obsession. She says just looking at this face is enough. The substitute falls in love with the scheming woman. He actually asks the woman to help announce their relationship. The scheming woman wants the jade pendant the woman wears, but that's the only relic left by her fiancé. She treasures it like her life. After being refused, the scheming woman actually cooks the dog she raised with her first love into soup. Seeing the bloody cutting board, her bipolar disorder flares up and her eyes turn blood red. The substitute uses his face that resembles the deceased to temporarily calm her down, but he allows the scheming woman to steal the jade pendant. What the scheming woman doesn't know is that she will soon pay a painful price for this. The man never imagined his wife would get revenge for his betrayal. On their 5th wedding anniversary, she took their 2 children and died in a car accident. After seeing the messages on his wife's phone, he discovered his mistress had been texting his wife every day to show off. In that moment, the man completely hated his mistress. His assistant brought him his wife's suicide note. His wife wished him and his mistress eternal happiness. Only then did the man realize his wife had known about his affair all along. Little did he know, his wife had given him chances to turn back. Too bad he never took any of them. A month ago, his wife discovered her husband's betrayal. She didn't make a scene. Instead, she pretended not to know and continued living with him. But her husband got worse. He didn't even bother cleaning off his mistress's lipstick marks before picking up his wife. Halfway home, the woman received a message from the mistress. She said one phone call could make the man come running. Sure enough, the next second, the man lied about having work at the company. He got out of the car in the heavy snow. Then the mistress sent another message. She told the woman she had a big gift for their 5th anniversary. The man knew cheating would hurt his wife, but he kept doing it anyway. He was certain his wife would never leave him. This time he was wrong. His heartbroken wife went to a fake death service company. She decided to fake her death and escape. She would take the 2 children and disappear forever. Without hesitation, she signed the fake death contract. When the man saw his girlfriend of 7 years walking over with another man's arm in hers, he finally realized she was really leaving him. The man didn't know that over those 7 years, his girlfriend had forgiven him 99 times. 3 days ago at the woman's birthday party, he was supposed to propose to his girlfriend, but instead, he publicly put the necklace around another woman's neck. He ignored his girlfriend's tearful eyes. She hid in the bathroom to process her heartbreak. When she came out, she saw the man flirting with yet another woman. In that moment, the woman finally understood. In this playboy's eyes, she was nothing more than a toy he'd been playing with for 7 years. The man's friends all advised him not to go too far with his girlfriend, but he didn't care, because every time he messed up in the past, his girlfriend would forgive him. The man naturally assumed this time would be the same, but he didn't see his girlfriend silently packing her bags. When she pulled her suitcase to leave, the man threatened her, "If you dare leave, don't come back." The woman just said coldly, "We're over." The man was used to being superior. He stubbornly said, "Without me, you're nothing." The man thought she would compromise like before, but she left without looking back. This was the first time the man had seen his girlfriend so resolute. But suddenly he panicked inside. The girl who always waited for him in the same place was really never coming back. A woman in the elevator grabbed the wrong man's hand by mistake. She was completely unaware until her boyfriend finished his phone call and stepped out of the elevator. Only then did she suddenly realize she had been holding a stranger's hand. She hastily let go and followed her boyfriend into the restaurant. But at the dinner table, she became increasingly distracted. She discovered that holding that stranger's hand gave her an inexplicable sense of security. That warmth was something she had never felt when holding hands with her boyfriend. In fact, there was no love between her and her boyfriend. They were only bound together by mutual interests. When a friend nearby toasted her, she was so absent-minded that she broke the wine glass. The woman hurried to the restroom to calm her emotions. Unexpectedly, that man had followed her. He told her she shouldn't be there. The woman argued back, saying this was the women's restroom. Only when another man walked in did she realize she had entered the men's restroom. The woman tried to run out but was pulled into a stall by the man. Just then, her boyfriend came to the restroom and found the woman's clothes. He realized his girlfriend might have betrayed him. When he tried to go in and catch the woman, she came out, saying she had just been too rushed and went to the wrong place. The boyfriend looked toward the stall and kicked the door open, but found no one inside. The next second, the man emerged from another stall.